Yeah, you remember this. Aha, everybody seems to remember. White played 92. They were waiting for black to play e takes d4, and then we had the key move here. So just for starters, who remember the right move for white? All right, everybody remembered. No, this is not Mora Gambit. Don't play c3, right? We speak about swapping the defender, so that's what everybody remember. Aha, HDI Chess Ryo, Angel, L008, Little Grandmaster, Pikachu, Robo, Mega Shots Rex, RZ 2018, Google Chess, Castle 13, Dragon Ninja, Awesome Owen. Right, Bishop c4, that's it. And we saw this game. It was very entertaining, right? It's not clear that white has an advantage, but for sure it will be a great battle. So it makes a lot of sense to swap off this defending bishop, no matter what happens after that. All right, let's see if we can bring up the topics of today. Let's see here. Let me pick the first example. We will do like a warm-up. This game from France. The following game was played last year in France. Let's see if I can bring it up. Let's put it here. All right. Does this work? Create a new chapter. Create a new chapter. Okay. Let's see. Did I make it? Yeah, I think so. All right. So, welcome all of you again to this third session about Gambit play. We will have a look again at some different situations in the opening where one side is opting for a Gambit. Please remember that we're speaking about two different situations. No, one of them is like Gambit from the very beginning, like the Mora Gambit or like the Marshall Gambit, and another idea is to use a Gambit at some point, like sacking a pawn in order to grab the initiative, in order to open up the game, in order to speed up development and so on. So that's these are the two situations that we're looking at. Let's get started. In this game between David with the white pieces and Loiseau playing black, white started with Rossolimo Sicilian, bishop e5. Maybe you remember from those battles, Caruana Carlsen. Carlsen would play g6, but later on I think he switched to e6, if I'm not mistaken. There was a very nice game. Giri Carlsen, very nice game where Carlsen ended up with bad pawn structure, but he won the game sometimes on the h file. Some of you might know about that. Aha. So that's is the variation with bishop takes c6, and I think Carlsen takes with a pawn, right? Something like this, d3 maybe. But okay, I'm not very well acquainted with this. I know more about what happened in the game. Castles here. What white played. Oh, Chess Ryo is telling us that there is another variation. Would you like to look into that, Ryo? Of course. Ryo is saying that we have this position and you can play rook e1, knight f6, c3. Yeah, maybe you're right, Ryo, but I would also claim that black can play e5. This is, I think, another Caruana Carlsen game. So maybe you can start with c3. And actually, speaking of Caruana has this very nice gambit. Well, I wasn't intending to speak about this, but now that we touch upon the subject, I remember this gambit played by Caruana, and bishop f4, and the bishop comes to d6. So that's an interesting variation for white. I think it's very promising. So I think maybe the best choice is here, knight f6. And then you can play rook e1, Ryo, like you were saying. So this is a long story. Maybe we should continue with the stuff that I had prepared, but for sure, this is very interesting to look into. This is kind of the odd way to play the Rossolimo without bishop takes c6. So many ways to play here. And actually, let me tell you also that after bishop e5, e6, this is the game, right? Castles and knight e7. This was played by Carlsen himself, but with white in a very nice game against Gelfand. You can look that game up. Very pretty game. There is some fantastic move, queen a5, I think it is. Carlsen moved over the queen to the queen side, and it was actually on praise the queen, because there was some idea with rook d8 and back rank mate. A very, very nice game, Carlsen Gelfand. Look that up if you like. But anyway, in this game, after rook e1, what Gelfand played was a6, and I think Carlsen played bishop f1, and that was d5. This is the Carlsen game. However, in this game, in our warm-up, black instead played here the move knight d4. And I won't say that this is a bad move. I would just say that Usually it makes more sense when white has already knight on c3, right? Because if they take, we take back and we hit the knight. And this is the same situation that you have in the English, right? I mean, I would say from a general perspective, if white plays like this, it's perfectly fine to play the Sicilian Rossolimo with black, right? But if you play it this other way, I'm not so convinced anymore, because here white could play knight e5, right? And if knight takes, we can take with the pawn. So, all right, I'm reading the chat. Maybe you're speaking about something else? Or are you speaking about this? It's not even a refutation. What's the refutation? I don't think there is any refutation here. The Smith-Morra. Yeah, that's a different story. There is no refutation to the Smith-Morra, if that's what you're saying. Anyway, let's continue with the game. So, e4, c5. We're back at this game between David and Loiseau, played in France last year. Bishop e5. We have the Sicilian Rossolimo. Like I was saying, the typical move here is a6, and after bishop f1, d5, like Gelfand played against Carlsen. Just one question. If white takes on d5, how should black take back? What do you think, guys? How to take back? With the pawn, the knight, or with the queen? What makes sense here? Anyone? You can just write in the chat. Should we take back with the pawn, with the knight? Yeah, you're right, Adi Chess. Yeah, with the knight we should take. If we take with the pawn, we end up with some congestion here. It's not so easy for us to develop our pieces. So, yeah, the correct choice is to take with the knight. You're right. And white plays d4, and I think, yeah, this is a long theoretical variation. Knight f6, I think, is the correct move here, if I'm not mistaken. Interesting battle. There will be some queenside pawn majority in the end. White might have a slight pull here. But in the game, nothing of this happened because black played knight e4. Like I was saying, this move usually makes more sense when there is a knight on c3. So what did white play in the game? Well, white took on d4, and they played here the move c3. Makes a lot of sense. Try to open up the game since the black king is still in the center. Black played a6 so that the knight can come to c6 without any issues with swapping on c6 and so on. Bishop f1, the usual hideout for the bishop in the Rossolimo. Knight c6, and white played simply the move d3. All right, white is opting for development. You can see that they would probably like to bring their knight to f3. So that's also one reason why they played d3 here. Black played bishop c5, makes a lot of sense, protecting this pawn on d4. White played at this point knight d2. Let me tell you that we're at move 10, and this game will end at move 13. So we're actually like 3 moves away from the finish of the game. All right? So at this point, black should have played... Well, I will ask you instead. What would you play, guys, at this moment? What do you think is white's most natural move here? Anyone? What would you play with black? Yeah, it's black to play. Yeah, you're right, H-Chess. Everybody wants to castle. Yeah, me too. I also want to castle. However, in the game, black said, this can wait. They played in the game in order to put more pressure on white. They played the ambitious move. I say ambitious because it's actually threatening to win a pawn. Queen f6. All right, we have arrived at our first quiz today. So I'll ask you for a little sequence, and you have to send me the right way to continue here with the white pieces. I think 1 minute 30, it's enough for you, okay? White to play and get a huge advantage. It makes no sense, says Robo. Well, depends. I put some pressure on the black squares, don't I? So white to play and get an advantage, all right? White to play and get an advantage. You're very close, Chess Ryu. Robo.
Yeah, I rushed.
Ryu got it wrong.
Very, very close. But there is a better move there, right? There is a better move. You can think about it now, but don't tell anyone, please.
Yes, I see it.
Don't say it. All right. So Chess Ryu, Robo, and L008, you are on the right track, but the third move is not the most precise move. Okay, Eric F, you got it. We have a first winner here. Eric F found exactly what the Grandmaster found in the game also. Nice. A lot of people are falling into this Chess Ryu's variation. Okay, so you have a lot of followers on this one, Chess Ryu. I guess it's very natural to play your third move. So, look at the whole board, please. Wow, so many people following in Chess Ryu's footsteps. We have also Adi Chess, Santosh, and Google Chess. We have 2 more winners. 3 more. Royale, Charles Hua, and RZ 2018. Great work. You got it, 100%. Very nice. Let's see if somebody else finds it. No, we have only 3 winners here. So, yeah, you're right, ChessDojo. Let's listen to Eric F. All right, Eric F., you're on. What to play with white here?
You would play e5 because you want to put your knight on e4 and then
Right.
will like stop like all of his threats.
Sounds great. E5, the typical Gambit idea. We Gambit a pawn. You can see, like Eric is explaining, we clear the square for the knight, and also we clear the e file for the rook. Typical Gambit function. All right, let's continue.
After knight takes e5, you would play knight e4, and then you fork the bishop and queen.
Right.
And then now you play queen h5 because it's like a skewer, and
literally right.
I don't
some kind of skewer, and there is no real way for black to defend against this, right? Yeah. I cannot. I mean, if I was castle, maybe, just maybe, there would be some option with f5. I don't know. But here it's illegal. So black actually resigned here. I mean, I can try one last more move. I didn't ask you for this, but because it's so obvious.
Then you would just play knight takes c5.
Yeah, you would just take. Exactly.
Just take this one.
Right. Yeah, great work. Thanks, Eric. So that's exactly what happened in the game. If we go back again, you can see that, okay, they're not lost, actually. I mean, after queen f6, e5, they can, of course, play something else. They can play something like queen g6. But, okay, white will have a huge initiative now. Maybe knight e4 is coming up. And, yeah, black is in trouble. But, okay, it was, of course, not necessary to give up the whole piece. But for our purposes, it's important to understand what happens if black actually accepts the gambit. So please look carefully what happened here. Black had played a normal opening, maybe not the best choice 100%, but it was still fairly playable. Castles, like many of you were saying, was a good move. I think also d6 should be okay. However, they got very ambitious. So they're playing queen f6. What was the sense behind queen f6? Well, you're attacking here and you have some attack going on there. So maybe, I mean, just maybe what black wanted was to provoke white into playing c4 or something like that to close the game a little. But nothing of that kind, of course. e5, the typical idea, giving away a pawn, exploit our better development, and they fell into this trap and white won the game. All right, so that's our first example. Please notice this very pretty move, queen h5. A lot of people were saying here, knight takes e5, and after the queen takes, I guess there is nothing really concrete, is there? As I can see. Can black decline? Yeah, black can decline, like we were saying. Black is, of course, not forced to take on e5. Yeah, that was a bad idea. So it's of course, better to move away the queen. Yeah, right. And then white can play for an advantage with knight e4. I don't know, maybe the bishop can come here. Black will have some issues with development also. Nice. So that's it about this first example. e5, pretty move. Maybe black saw all this up to knight takes e5, queen takes e5. Perhaps they forgot about the move queen h5, possibly. So please remember this situation. All right, I'll bring up something else. Let's switch to d4 opening. Okay, let's look at a d4 opening. Let's see a different case. Our next case, we will actually play a gambit from the very beginning. Let's see if I can bring it up. Select a chapter. Okay, I see. All right. Did I get it right? Yeah, and actually this game is also from France, if I'm not mistaken. So this is another game where we will see a gambit in action here. White plays d4, black replies with a Grunfeld. Here we have the initial position of the Grunfeld. White played bishop g5. This is an interesting variation, not seen that often today, but still I think it's very important to know about it with the black pieces. So I think, generally speaking, it's considered that black should play knight e4 and they should take the pawn on c4 like this, right? White plays e3 and white would like to get back the pawn. So we are definitely speaking about a gambit. Isn't bishop g7 okay too? Yeah, I think so. And there is even, this interesting line by Dubov. I think Dubov found this move, g5, if I'm not mistaken. There is some funny variation like this Dubov found last year. Aha. Eric, sorry, I'll remove the pawn. Yeah, no problem. Okay, so yeah, there are many ways to play. You can also play bishop g7, definitely. There is some variation where you take and you take like this. You play, I think, e3 or e4. You put the bishop on c4. Never mind. Let's have a look at what happened in the game, all right? Because perhaps not everybody's playing the Grunfeld here, and you would rather like to look into what happened in the game. So black takes and they take the pawn. I still think this is considered as the most critical choice. White plays e3 here. Please notice the difference here. You don't play e4 like in many other Grunfeld variations, because here, since your bishop is far away from the center, you don't want black to attack the center. So you play just one step so that you have a solid center. Well, that's the idea, at least. So black, usually what they should do here is to protect his pawn by bishop e6. And here there are many ways to play with white. I mean, you can play knight f3, you can play bishop e2. I was surprised when I saw this move queen b1, but it's also logical in a way. And in this game, they played instead rook b1. If I'm not mistaken, in this kind of position, black should actually give back the pawn. We talked about this technique. I think it's like this. If they take, you play knight b6 here or later. No, that's an important idea for black, if I'm not mistaken. Avruch, yeah, he has written about this. He has studied it very carefully, of course, in his great books about the Grunfeld, published by Quality Chess, right? However, in this game, perhaps black didn't read that book, because they played instead the move queen d5. So this is always a bit dangerous, right? It's always a bit dangerous to bring out the queen very quickly. We actually saw this a few sessions ago when we saw this game by Moisenko. Maybe you remember black went to take this pawn and they went back. There was some pretty move queen a3. Actually, it was the same variation. If you were around at that point, you remember this game. Anyway, so okay, Rayo, you're Avruch against my compatriot Tigo Hilap. Oh, I didn't know, but that makes a lot of sense. Tigo is playing very well the Grunfeld. So anyway, at this moment it's white to play, and white played the move bishop e2. Interesting move, right? We are trying to punish the move queen d5 as soon as possible by playing bishop f3. Black can, of course, not take the pawn. Then the queen is trapped. So in the game, they played instead here the move queen c6. All right, enough talking from me. It's your move. Well, you have to find a little sequence here. I'll bring up all the moves. Let's see if we can get this right. All right, I hope I got it all right. Let's see. Oh, a lot of moves. So maybe I should stop there. Yeah, I'll stop there. 2 minutes. You have to find like 6 moves, I think, here. All right. Good luck, everyone. White to play and basically win the game.
Win the game?
Yeah, I think so. Almost. Or huge advantage, okay? Whatever you like. White to play and get a huge advantage, okay? All right, interesting choices. Adi Chess and Mega Charles Rex. What did you have in mind? I'm curious about what. Don't send me the moves too quickly. We're all not even 1 minute, and you're already sending me the answer. Take your time, guys. Take your time.
Oh, I missed something. Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, I think so.
Rip Ryo.
Aha, it's a tricky position. Yeah, it's really tricky. So it's a Gambit situation. We should try to open up the game. Okay, Royale XB, Medina Tiger. You see, these people, they took some more time to think about it, and they finally produced the right answer. So that's the reward for thinking a little more. A lot of people want to give away the pawn straight away. I don't have enough imagination. I don't see what's going on here. If I take with a queen, what are you going to play? Well, we will speak about that very soon. So congratulations to Royale and Medina Tiger who found this one. And then Pikachu and Chess Ryo were very close. Oh, I see. Yeah, good idea, bad execution. Is that what it's about? I take and I play queen f6, maybe. Castle 13, you got it also. Nice. We have 3 winners here. And L008, you were very close. If you say you win the game by that move, I will forgive you. And Awesome Owen also. I think you get at least half a point, L008 and Awesome Owen. And Robo was very, very close also. Maybe your solution is okay, Robo, and also Quacky. Yeah, a lot of people got close here. Guinea Pig also very, very close. Probably what you're saying. If you failed after move 4, I think you still got it, okay? We could say like that. If you got up till move 4, probably you got it the right way. But there is a very precise way in which we can just finish off black. So let's listen to Royal XB. Yeah, you're on, Royal. Let us know how does this work out. Okay, good work, Chess Knight, by the way. Yeah, little, not so much time, I know. Aha, so this is the key move, right? Now comes the key move here. Royal, please continue. Exactly. So that's the way, probably what black missed in this game when they play queen c6. They forgot about this move. Because after bishop takes, we have the important intermediate move d5. And suddenly black cannot protect their bishop in any smart way. If I take on f3, yeah, this is not so difficult, right, Royal? Aha, queen hangs. And yeah, we win the game here. Right. So in the game, black instead played here the move queen d6. There is not so much else to do. So black is about to get back the piece, right? They would like to get back the piece. So they're trying to get back the piece by playing here the move queen f4, right? So we're touching two bishops at the same time, but white finds a smart way of defending and also attacking. So I don't have any good moves left here anymore. Yeah, if I play bishop g7, what would happen, Royal? Yeah, it doesn't work, right? It doesn't work, I think. Oh, it's still a bit tricky, though. Yeah, it's more tricky than I thought. Aha. Right. What do you think, Royal? Oh, this was not part of the solution, I know. So it's not so easy to know about this. Maybe some intermediate move. Guinea pig says just take on c4. Aha. And after I take, yeah, it's the same situation like in the game. Probably this also wins, right? Aha, d6. I also wanted to play like Eric says. Yeah, Eric, I wanted to play the way you say. I don't know, is this completely clear? Something is... If I castle now, is this... I'm not completely convinced that this is winning. Are you?
Coach?
Sorry?
After bishop g7, maybe queen to g7?
Yeah, exactly. I was just saying that. I can see that Eric is saying the same thing. I was also thinking about this.
Yeah.
And king d2. I think this is the way to win the game. Because
Exactly.
they cannot take it with check. And if I go back, I come here and my queen protects the pawn. Exactly. So I don't think it's possible to play like this. Sorry, Royal, I confused you here. So let's continue with the solution. Queen takes h4. Okay. And did I... Yeah, and d6. So that's the solution, right? d6. We are threatening now to give check and pick up their queen. We're also threatening to, I guess, simply take on b7. Maybe there is also the threat of pawn takes. White is completely winning in all the variations. So that's the solution. I'm happy for all of you who got it this way, but also a lot of people, they found other possible ways to play. So some people were saying, for example, bishop g3. Here at this moment, bishop g3. So that looks clever, but I guess if bishop takes f3, I'm still alive, right? I think I should still be alive here after bishop takes f3. Aha. What else? We had some people saying queen f3. Yeah, and I think this move also wins. Queen f3 should also win. I can see what you mean. If I take on h4, you'll play d6 anyway. And probably black is lost here in this position. But yeah, and there were some other tries also. Please don't fight in the chat, okay? Stop fighting. Yeah, no reason to start those conflicts. So, and other moves were also suggested. Somebody was saying queen a4 check. It's probably also very interesting, although I guess you're helping me to speed up development. But I'll stick to what Royal said. I'll stick to queen d4. I think this is the most pretty way to play. And of course, d6. Don't take that rook because they'll take our bishop and our rook. So d6, key move here. Summing up, what we have seen in this little example is that black was very brave to play here the move queen c6. They had to play something else. I'm not sure exactly what, because bishop f3 is coming up. But I guess you have to give away something, right? When you're in trouble, give away something. So maybe, well, what do you guys think? Maybe knight e7 or knight c6 or c6 maybe. Although it makes a weird impression to play c6 here. I don't know. Probably black is already in trouble here. But what you cannot play is what I played in the game. Queen c6, because we have this very pretty refutation with bishop f3. Some people said d5 straight away. I didn't understand, honestly. What did you have in mind? Maybe you wanted to play bishop f3, but okay. I'll give away this pawn in some way. I'll maybe take, and when you take, I can perhaps, I don't know, bring out the knight, play rook d8. I don't know if that's what the Grunfeld players would play, but It must be much better than the game, right? D5, bishop takes D5, says Ryu. Yeah, probably you're right. Yeah, I thought maybe there was some ghost with queen D4, but probably nothing's going on. Yeah, I was just thinking if I swap queens while being attacked, it might make sense. Anyway, E4, somebody was saying also, but this is a bad version of the game because the bishop is hanging straight away. So, only way really, bishop F3, this pretty move E4, so that the bishop takes E4, D5. You could say in a way, the player who has sacked a pawn, who has more pieces in the battle, for sure they will come better out of tactical complexities. It's almost always like that. As when you have more pieces active, of course, you're benefited from tactical complexity. So that's why this works out so well for black. For white, I mean, if the bishop was on G7 already, it's a different story. Nothing of this would work, of course, because we wouldn't have queen D4. So please remember, gambit positions, you can consider to open up the game like this with these two very smart pawn sacrifices. Well, only one of them is a sacrifice. All right, I have another example here. We have one game also to look at today, but let's continue with these little small examples. Let's go back to the Sicilian. I have another anti-Sicilian coming up. Sometimes those anti-Sicilians, they produce very interesting games. All right, here we go. Our next example was played last year in Estonia. All right, I hope all of you know where Estonia is on the map. I hope you can place it in the geographical picture. Country of Estonia, located next to Russia, and also Finland is close to Estonia. All right, so in this game, white played the Sicilian Grand Prix, okay, with F3, which is usually more powerful when black has already committed with D6, if I'm not mistaken. Black played here G6. Yeah, it's a Baltic country. Exactly, Robo. You have 3 countries which are considered as Baltic countries. You know which 3 countries I'm speaking about? Yes, you do. Which are the other ones?
Latvia and Lithuania.
Exactly. Latvia and Lithuania. You should know at least Latvia. I mean, among chess players, we should know Latvia because that's where Mikhail Tal was born, right? In Riga. Or at least he was from there. And I mean, all these countries are very strong chess countries. Speaking about Estonia, we cannot ignore Paul Keres, of course. He was one of the world's best players. No, Liechtenstein, that's a different country. That's not. That's a different part of Europe. Careful, Pikachu. That's located more in the middle, like Germany, Switzerland, and so on, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, let's go back to chess. Yeah, chess and geography, there are some connections there. Knight F3, Bishop G7, Bishop C4. This is one of the ways you can play the Grand Prix. You can also play with Bishop B5. And I have even seen this little funny ploy. They play Bishop E5 check, and then they say, no, I don't want to swap bishops. And in this way, somehow with the bishop there, I guess black's reaction with D5 is getting more difficult to achieve because the bishop is in the way. So then white continues like this. Anyway, let's continue with the game. Bishop C4, Knight C6, white castled. There was E6. And speaking of gambits, you would suspect that white would just play here D3, and they would play Queen E1, and they would bring the queen to H4, they would push F5, and so on. But nothing of this happened because, yeah, white plays F5. That's a typical idea in the Grand Prix. Maybe you can play it even here, you mean, RZ 2018. You're saying you play F5 already here? Yeah, maybe. It's never too early to play F5, it seems, in those Grand Prix positions. So, yeah, that's definitely possible. However, in this game, white played for a gambit. They played here the move D4. Interesting gambit, no? Because you're putting the pawn where it can be taken by 3 different pieces. If you're interested in reversed openings, you can see that in the English, there is actually a very similar gambit. Maybe you have come across this gambit when you play. Am I able to produce this? Let's see here. Knight F3, Knight C6, G3, Bishop. I think I made a mistake here. It's like this. Sorry. Knight C6, Bishop G2, Bishop C6. So if E3, you can actually play D5. It's exactly the same gambit, right? And this, if C takes, you play Knight B4, and you claim that you can get back this pawn, or you can bother them on the light squares. Anyway, so that's what white played in this game. The same kind of idea. They played here the move D4, so that after C takes D4, they can go Knight B5. Interesting, no? Interesting way of playing. So now, as you can see, the pawn cannot be protected in a proper way. I mean, Queen B6, forget about it. The pawn is hanging, and if E5, definitely white is very happy that the bishop is open. I mean, you could even consider, like last time when we were looking at this this gambit now, this Caro-Kann gambit, maybe you could even take on f7 and play knight e5. I don't know, or probably there is something even better. Some people will say just play knight e5, and yeah, it appears that white is actually completely winning. So that's one nice thing about not having any pawns on the f file. You can attack much sooner. Anyway, nothing of this happened, of course. In the game, black played what we have a lot of talk here in the chat. Gambit play, well, how to guarantee win with white, f4, e6, g4. Interesting. Queen h4 is checkmate, so white wins. Yeah, I don't follow really the conversation here, but yeah, you're right. To bring the queen to h4, or you're speaking about something else. Maybe I should make this chat private. Maybe I should, right? Anyway, knight b5 was played in the game. I think knight e7 is the most proper choice here. Knight e7, like we was discussing, speed up development. But okay, the grandmaster played here knight a5. That's a much more ambitious move, you can say. Very ambitious move. Why on earth is he playing knight a5? Well, he would like to protect the pawn with e5 without having that annoying bishop, white's bishop on the light squares. So he played knight a5. White duly retreated the bishop, and then black played e5. All right, guys, let's see if you can find a way in which white can get the advantage here. I'm not saying a winning advantage. I just want you to find a way in which white can get the better side of this. So here we go. Let's ask for a little variation. Let's see if you can find it. Should I ask until this point only? Let's see. I think I will ask until this point. Okay, just for fun. Just for fun, we will look at 5 moves, okay? 2 minutes, try to find the best way to go with the white pieces here, okay? Remember, we're playing Gambit style. Don't send me the move so quickly, Medina Tiger. Take your time, take your time. You can get half point for that move. It's not so bad. I would play a6, Medina Tiger. a6 on your move. You can continue looking at what you would play. It's actually very interesting, your move. So, half a point for Medina Tiger. All right, interesting move, Aditya and L008. I guess I'd play knight ge7 against that. Okay. I guess knight ge7. I don't know if you have something coming up there. Remember that I'm a pawn up, no? Eric also, I'll play knight ge7. And who knows what will happen next. All right, Santos. Yeah, the typical pawn push in this opening. I don't know if it works here, though. You help me to keep the position closed. I'd play a6 against that, Santos, to remove your knight from there. All right, so this was a difficult one. Adi Chess, interesting move. I guess I'd retreat the knight. I'd play knight c6 there, maybe. But I can see the idea. I can see your idea, Adi Chess. Then you will bring back your bishop, I guess. Yeah, I could probably give you half a point for that, Adi Chess. And HDI Chess also. Oh, so everybody wants to play bishop g5. Interesting. I'm sorry, this time I have no winners here. And nobody's even that close. Okay. Knight g5. Interesting choice, Guinea Pig, Royale, and Quacky. If you play knight g5, I guess I'd play knight h6. Maybe. To castle quickly. Pikachu. That's Gambit style, Pikachu. Interesting idea. I guess I'll go back with the knight. I'll go back with that knight. So, nobody got beyond move 2. Yeah, nobody got beyond move 2. That's weird. I thought it was not so difficult. Okay, please remind me, guys, of the moves that you have suggested. I might not remember everything. Almost everybody wants to take the pawn, and that makes a lot of sense, right? But we have a very interesting move here, c3. I think it was Medina Tiger who said this first. So if you play c3, I can, of course, not take. Then you take on d6. So I'd play a6. Let's listen to Medina Tiger to see if you can show us what is this about. What was your idea? Because you were the first one to look at this. Did you check this? Okay, you don't have a microphone. No problem, but play the moves at least. So if you play in true Gambit style, how would you continue here? You give away material, right? So I'll take. So what's going on here? Pawn takes. So could I swap queens, or am I killed if I take here? What will happen to me here? I think I'm still alive here, or what do you think? Or maybe I had something better. Some people would claim I could give check. Maybe does this make sense? And then I take. I must say I'm not convinced by this gambit. To be honest, I'm not completely convinced here. I think black looks fairly active. So actually, the idea of c3 would not be that. The idea would be slightly different, I think. I think you can play in a different way here. So you played. This is a little problem with the platform. Let me go back. Sorry, guys, for this little problem. Knight a5, bishop e2, e5. So we're looking at c3, a6, and what did Medina Tiger said? He said c takes d4. Okay. Anyone else? Exactly. Knight takes d6. That's what I think. Aha. And the next move, of course. Well, not of course. Nothing is of course here. Okay, I'll go back. I think I'm helped by this, but I might be wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, you can take on e5 now. Is that what you mean? Interesting. But I mean, you could also claim that the knight was kind of hanging. So, are you sure you really want to exploit it right now? F takes e5 says Mega Charles X. Yeah, that's what I think. Exactly. Because now, look carefully. If I take here, this is bad news for black. Now it's a true gambit. Not only gambit. That's actually... Yeah, okay. Tactical Magician was already speaking about this. Okay, Tactical Magician. You can continue if you like. Let's listen to Tactical Magician, who always has a microphone. So please continue, Tactical Magician. How do you continue here?
You have to take on d4.
Really? Why? I can then go back, can't I? Are you sure about that?
Yeah.
Don't you think that if black played with Fianchetto, maybe we should deprive them of that bishop? I would think.
Yeah, you should take first.
I think so, yeah. Look at this position. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But
And then you can probably take here.
uh-huh.
Because
I
if
think-
queen e4, bishop e5 check.
Yeah, this one is probably very risky. No, you have bishop e5 check coming up and rook
Yeah,
e1.
maybe even bishop c4.
Or maybe bishop c4. Uh-huh. Or maybe even rook e1. Yeah, many ways to play here. I don't like this for black, honestly.
Yeah.
And if I don't take the pawn, if I move the queen backwards, now I'm suffering from not having a bishop on g7.
Bishop g5.
But my queen is there, right? So
Oh, yeah.
Mega Charles Rex says queen a4. I understand your point, but okay. But I have some cheap tactics here, Mega Charles Rex. I can play like this, right? So probably you wouldn't commit that early. But once we see this idea by Mega Charles Rex, I think we can improve.
d5 first.
Exactly. So I think this is crushing, because when you play d5 first, not only are you preparing queen d4, making them suffer for their lacking control of dark squares, but also the knight is now very exposed on a5. So this looks horrible for black. So I think what black will have to do here, they will have to move the queen somewhere, like this. And you can then take on d4. And this looks nice for white. I mean, it's an unbalanced position. I'm not saying that white is winning, of course. After all, black is a piece up, right? However, white has a few pawns, and yeah, looks like an interesting game. So this is one nice option. Okay, Tactical Magician, great work. So that's one interesting option, c3. It will render you half a point if you play c3. But most people wanted to take on e5, and you were saying bishop g5. I don't follow here, really. You will have to explain to me. I'll play knight e7. What's the problem for black here? What do you have in mind? Anyone? My next move may be h6, and then I'll castle. Aha. I don't follow. I think black is okay here. I don't think bishop... Oh, you still have the pawn, Tactical Magician. Okay. So I think bishop d5 is probably not the right way to go here. It's not really going well with this whole system. Probably this is the square for the knight. But if you can claim the opposite, I'm ready to listen to you. If you can claim that bishop d5 is a strong move, so many people were saying bishop d5. But okay, I don't really trust it. Knight g5 was also proposed by Guinea Pig, Royale, Quacky, and some other people. I think what black will play is, yeah, obviously knight h6 and they'll castle. Am I doing so badly here? I'm not convinced it's so bad for black. So a lot of moves came up here. Bishop d2, Hong Pao and Adi Chess were saying bishop d2. Okay, but when you play a move like that, I mean, you helped me to get back in the battle. But I guess this was your idea, to bring back the bishop and now threaten knight g5. So maybe this is also interesting. Yeah, interesting. Maybe I should play knight h6 then. Some kind of prophylactics. Or are you going to take on f7? But I don't know. I don't see this clearly. Do you see this clearly? I think I can live with that, right? If you take and you take and you take, I go back with the king and you play knight. Yeah, I don't see this clearly. You will have to correct me if I miss some cheap tactic here, but I don't see this so clearly. I know you can come here, but okay, I can maybe give check and I can put my queen somewhere. Aha. So not so clear. Yeah, please stop bad language and so on in the chat. I'm really considering to make the chat private because it's annoying with all these messages. It's a lack of respect to your fellow students also. So I think this is interesting for white, but maybe not the most promising choice. All right, so let's do this again. You should, of course, take on e5, but then you have a surprising solution for white here. I told you, you won't get the winning advantage, but you will get slight advantage. Okay, that's enough for us this time. So I'll bring on the quiz again. Let's see if you can find the right way to go. So this time, I'll only ask you for, did I make a mistake? I think I'll just stop there. Yeah, 2 minutes or 1:30 maybe, because it's one move less. How to get some advantage with white here. Take your time, take your time. Don't send me the move. Take your time, okay? Oh, so this was very difficult. Uh-huh. You saw in the previous example that we gave away some material because we were better developed. So this is linked to that idea. If you're better developed, you can sometimes give up material, you can gambit something, exploiting that lead in development. Okay. Okay, we have some winners. That's great news. Hong Pao, Tactical Magician. Okay, I'm relieved. We have some people who got it right. A lot of people want to play in c3 in the Smith-Morra style. Okay, interesting also.
Yeah.
Just right, you got it.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I saw it originally, but there was a move that was why I didn't want to play originally.
We will look into that. Okay. By the way, what Hong Pao, Tactical Magician, and ChessDojo found, this didn't happen in the game because Black simply didn't go for this. Okay, very, very quickly. Can I say no? Because we have to go in order, ChessDojo. You will find it later. If you were number 3 on this one, but Hong Pao was first, so I will give the word to Hong Pao. Anyway, knight e5, knight h6. We talked about this. Bishop d2. We talked about knight c6. So c3, I'll give you half a point. It's the Gambit style again. Maybe you can take here, although I see it a bit different this time. There is a better move for white here. So Hong Pao, you're on. How to continue with the white pieces? Aha, knight x4. Exactly. We give away a whole knight here. What's going on? You see, that's what we call the tragedy of one tempo. If Black had a knight out, they would castle. They wouldn't even mind about losing the knight. They would be very happy just to castle away. However, they cannot do that. They're missing one tempo, and it's not easy at all to parry the threat of knight c7. So what would I play in the game? I'll bring out the bishop then. Okay, so as to connect the queen and the rook. And Hong Pao just gives check on c7. So I told you to just stop there. I mean, we can look into this position. I could play a move like king e7, for example. So what do you think, Hong Pao? Would you take the rook or would you try to increase your attack? Would you like for more pieces to join the attack, maybe? Who do you think should join the attack? Who should we invite to the party? Any idea? Or you can just write in the chat also, if somebody has an idea, which white piece to invite to this party. Aha, chess knight says queen d2. Yeah, maybe I can play knight c6 then. But if we continue with your idea, chess knight, ChessDojo. Aha. The queen, yeah, everybody says the queen. Queen e1 says, yeah, you got it, Santos and Mega Charles, you got it. I think this is the best move, queen d3, because I'm coming here and I'm also coming there. While if I play queen d2 or queen e1, Black can go back with the knight, right? This knight is going to go back anyway. Please notice that we're not in a hurry to take the rook because we're attacking, right? So don't take that rook still. Queen d3 is a very strong move because queen a3 is coming up. And if knight c6, we can then use our other idea. No hurry to take the rook. We could continue to harass them with our queen. And if that's not enough, I mean, at some point we can just bring in the rook also. And in that case, all the white pieces would be attacking, and something must come out of this, right? No need to really go into details and try to find a way in which we can mate them and so on. This is enough. I mean, Mikhail Tal would be very happy to play this. No reason to move further. Like Mikhail Tal was saying, the most important thing is to make sure that your opponent has no obvious defense. That's enough when opting for this kind of sacrifice. So going back here, what we have seen in this example is that white can actually give away a whole knight here. Knight takes d4 is a very strong move. If e takes d4, then we have bishop f4 coming up, and black has no real way of defending against knight c7. And white in the game, Chukavin, he found this move. So this is actually the course of the game. White played knight takes d4, and black played at this point simply knight f6. Very clever choice by the grandmaster. He noticed that he was in trouble, and he said, okay, I have to give back the material. Still, after knight f6, white played here the move knight b3, and somehow white is more comfortable here. The f file is still important for white, and also this bishop is not so strong anymore, maybe you could say. In the game, black gave check, king h1. This is not so interesting, castles. And here, it seems that white made a mistake. They took on a5, but it was actually, oh, you still have the pawn, Hongpa. Okay, I'll take it away from you. Sorry. So I think at this moment, what white should play here is knight c3. Yeah, that's what the engine was saying, knight c3. Keep this tension because we're favored by them taking. Then also the a-file is open. And white will be slightly more comfortable here. Bishop g5 is coming up. And somehow I like this fact that we have the f-file open. So yeah, that's basically the end of the story. I had one last question for you. What happens then if black plays after knight takes d4?
E6?
A6, exactly. Anyone... Was that Ryo? Who was speaking? Okay, so what do you say, Ryo? I can give you the pawn, of course.
I was asking what to do against a6.
Where is Ryo? Okay, you can ask and you can also reply. So go for it, Ryo. What would you play with the white pieces here?
Yeah, that's what made me not play it at the beginning.
Oh, that's why you didn't play it. Oh, so maybe we have a problem here. I thought all my variations were crystal clear, but maybe you have found a weak spot in this whole calculation. There is one move I like for white, Ryo. I'm considering to give away a whole knight here. Knight c6 says tactical magician. Well, you are really a tactical magician if you can make this move work. That's just fantastic. Wow. That's incredible. So what Tactical Magician is about to do here, is about to play knight d6. Just one question for you, Tactical Magician. If I give check, don't I remove your magic here? Then I take this one, right? I'm sorry, this was very pretty, but it doesn't work. Or does it work? So I don't think it works. Or let me know if I miss something. Bishop takes b5. No, but you're giving away too many pieces now. This is not going to work, right? But the idea was very pretty. Okay, what do you say? I don't follow. You want to give this check? But I'll play queen b6. I mean, I'll play queen b6. What do you want to play now? Bishop e3? Wow. Okay, I'll just take everything. Oh, I see what you mean. So if I now take, you play knight e6 and you get this pawn. Nice. Am I mated here or could I run away with the king? I mean, time to give back material. King d8. No, then you play knight f5, right? You have knight f5 and you pick up my queen. Nice. Oh, I see. So maybe this works for white after all. Fantastic move, knight c6. Incredible how you can give away so many pieces in a row. Is there anything else? I mean, if I take, knight d6 must be very strong for white. If I take the queen, you will play, I guess, rook takes d1. Is that the idea? I still don't believe this, honestly. And now I should, of course, not take here because then I'm mated. And if I take there, I lose the exchange. But okay, I lose the exchange, but I have a pawn already and I have the bishop pair. So what do you think? Is this so bad for black? Maybe knight e4? Or are we drifting away, maybe? I have some compensation, no? Oh, you also have bishop pair. Yeah, you're right. I'm not the only one. Yeah, good point. Sorry. So actually, white is a clear exchange up here. Yeah, good point. Wow. So Google Chess says queen b6. And after bishop e3, queen takes e6. Okay, then I'll play knight e6.
No.
This must be extremely annoying for black, right? Or can you see a way? I mean, in practical chess, maybe the engine will say that black is fine somehow, but among humans, this must be extremely critical to play. Aha. So nice, a tactical magician. Yeah, you got it. You brought some real magic to this position. So knight c6. I was going to say this one, but okay, my move is not half as pretty as your move. But I like this idea because I wanted to bring the knight to d6. But okay, you will say that you can just take it perhaps. And you can just move the king somewhere, even like king f8 maybe. So unless somebody has something to say, we will leave it like that. Knight c6, fantastic discovery by Tactical Magician. Unless somebody can refute this. Well, it's definitely not easy to see. Queen b6 and bishop e3. Please go ahead.
Can you check and confirm it later?
Should I check and confirm it later? Yeah, of course. I'll tell you next time. All right, I'll check this. What a pretty move, no? Knight c6. I'm going to confirm now. Okay, confirm then, Tactical Magician. But we're actually about to leave this example. Aha. So basically, what we're speaking about here is that white gambited the pawn, and black tried to hold on to that pawn, but white found this very nice move, knight takes d4. Aha. If e takes d4, bishop f4 is very strong. In the game, black played the move knight f6. The grandmaster was very experienced and just brought out the pieces, feeling that there was danger around. While the most critical move would be a6, which made some of you shy away from playing this whole variation. And then we had a look at this move, knight c6. Yeah, that's really
Let me confirm it.
interesting move. Sorry?
Let me confirm it right now.
You want to confirm it right now, but please hurry on because we're in the middle of the... Yeah, it just confirmed with the engine. It says knight c6 is the best, at least the one I have. All right, if the engine said so, we will, of course, blindly believe in what it says. In this kind of tactical situation, of course, engines are very strong. Needless to say, they are strong in everything, but they're especially strong in this kind of situation. +4, okay. Great, you were right, Tactical Magician. Yeah, that's really a nice discovery. What do you say if, yeah, queen b6 and bishop e3? Okay, we continue with this variation, bishop e3. In this way, we don't let them take on b5, which was our concern. They can't because the queen is hanging. So, yeah, black is in deep trouble. But instead, yeah, exactly, like you're saying, Castle. So you should play knight f6 like the grandmaster played, and knight b3, and white is just slightly better. So, summing up, this was the right choice to go. Don't forget, when you're gambiting, when you have a lead in development, don't be afraid to give up something. Very often, your better developed pieces can help you to develop an initiative and so on. All right, I'm ready for our last example. It's actually a rather long game. I mean, not long game, not many moves, but it's a very complex game. But okay, I'll try to wrap it up somehow so it won't take too long time. Let's see here. We will have a look at the Gambit, which is really a Gambit, like 100% Gambit. It's a Gambit from the very beginning. Here we go. This game was played this year in tournament. We were speaking about the Baltic countries. This game was played in Riga, the capital of Latvia, right? So in this game, we have with white pieces, I think Indian Grandmaster Puranik, and playing black is Haria from England. So this is a very interesting game. White played a Gambit in the French. If you don't know what to play against the French, maybe you should have a look at this Gambit. It became very popular. We have the advanced French. Knight c6 is usually played, but okay, it doesn't really matter. After queen b6, knight f3, knight c6, we got there anyway. So one of the first thing that you... Can I have the PGN for this game? Yeah, maybe. We will speak to Greg about that. The previous one. Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, let's see if Greg can help us on that one. So white played here the move bishop d3. I mean, usually what people play here is a3, right? This is still, I guess, considered the most critical. But white played bishop d3, and if you look at this, you would say, okay, they are about to take. After c takes c4, they will take. Black plays bishop d7, and white castle. So this is a well-known Gambit, no? I think it's considered to be okay for black after the move. I think this is a good move here, a6, if I'm not mistaken. You don't take the other pawn because they play rook e1, knight takes d5, and so on. Anyway, if somebody knows more about this, please let us know. Else, this Gambit is believed to be more or less okay for black. However, nowadays, they are playing it in a different way. They play bishop d3, and after c takes d4, they just castle here. So this is an interesting Gambit, because now, as you can see, if black takes, white is helped. Now their development is speeded up. And yeah, white will have an initiative on the queen side. So after bishop d7, white could play here bishop e3. And my first question to you is, what happens if black goes d4? This is an easier, how do you say, easier quiz. So you get only 45 seconds for this one, okay? 45 seconds. You have to think very quickly, okay? So I muted everyone. Right, you have very little time. Why is d4 a bad idea here? Who can see the tactics very quickly? Okay, half a point for Thinker. I can move away my queen, right? I could play maybe queen somewhere. Okay, there is something better. Castle, you get half a point for that. You can play it. Google Chess, you got it. Good work. Eric, I don't follow Eric. If I take that bishop, what's on your mind? HD1 check chess. I can take HDI. Sorry, never mind. Okay, a lot of people play bishop e4 on the second move. Yeah, I can give you half a point for that. It's okay, maybe. But even better is what... yeah, okay, Eric, we will look into that. Google Chess. All right, you're on. What to play with white here?
I played knight takes d4.
Aha.
And then I played queen g4.
Nice. So I cannot play bishop c5. You have bishop queen takes c7. So
Yeah.
typical idea in the French, right? Any other move? I guess bishop e4. I could play bishop c5, or is there some problem? I don't think so. Yeah, this is probably fine for black. So only your way, Google Chess, works for white, if I'm not mistaken. Queen g4, very good move. You get back the piece and you have a very nice position, a lot of development, and black is still sitting with the king in the center. Okay, thanks, Google Chess. Let's continue. So for that reason, here in this game and also in other games, black plays simply bishop d7. They don't take on c3, but also white will not take on d4. So it's a kind of a cat and mouse situation. Both are waiting for the other one to commit. White played here the move rook e1. They're waiting for black to take. Black didn't want to take. They played here knight ge7. Some other day, we will have a look at this very nice game between Mamedov and Bluebaum, a German grandmaster, against grandmaster from Azerbaijan. We will look into that game with knight h6. I hope to look at this with you some other moment. It's a very fascinating game. However, here they played instead knight ge7, which makes a lot of sense because the knight would like to come to g6 and then black would finally be able to resume development. However, white didn't let this happen. White played at this point the move h4. So interesting, no? Interesting move h4. Very modern way of playing, because if black plays h5, probably white can benefit from this. I don't know if knight g5 might come up, for example. It will be more difficult for black to castle also if they have the pawn on h5. So in the game, black instead played after the move h4. They played, oh, what happened to that pawn? They played h6 simply, okay? Like a kind of waiting move. They're still waiting for white to take, and then they would take back, as we know by now. Sorry, Eric, you wanted to say something. I forgot about this. You had some variation here. I completely lost the track. We can go back again. So what was the variation that we were looking at? We were looking at this variation. So Eric said, what did you say here? Bishop takes d4? Oh, I understand. You wanted to play knight b5. Okay, interesting idea. I guess I just go back with the queen, right? So probably I'm alive here. So that probably explains why it's so much stronger to just take on d4. And I have seen this in some variations. It's a very nice little trick. Anyway, back to the game. So we're seeing here bishop d7. White played simply rook e1, and here we had this interesting flexible move h4, trying to go h5. Black doesn't want to play h5 due to the weakening of the g5 squares. They play h6 and h5 anyway. So not so easy for black to play here. They are looking for useful moves. They play the move rook c8. It's interesting that after this game, there was another game, if I'm not mistaken. Jones, the British grandmaster, he played c takes d4 here. So actually, they're kind of back in the other variation now. Black could maybe take on d4. In the game Jones Baltag played just like a month ago. I'm not sure about this position, but in the game black instead played knight b4, which is also interesting because they got the bishop pair, right? So I don't know what's going on here. Maybe this is the best way to go with white. Again, this gambit is perhaps not 100% promising for white, but it's very interesting. So in the game they played in a different way. They played knight a3. Puranik played knight a3. I like this move very much. It's very active. The engine is not so happy about it. The engine, I think, it prefers Jones' way of playing c takes d4. But I like knight a3. For sure, it creates a very interesting battle now. So the knight might come to b5. That's why black played here a6, and white simply played knight c2. At this point, white would like to take, and they would have like a perfect version of the advanced French. So black finally says, okay, I'm up to this challenge. I'll pick my pawn, and now black is a pawn up. But look at this position. I mean, the engine will tell you that it's equal, or perhaps black is even better, but look at white's prospects here. I like it very much. All the pieces are active. And as usual, when you have gambited the pawn, more files are open for your benefit. Now, knight a5 was played in the game. A good move because the knight might come to c4 at some point, and also the bishop gets some prospects here on the light squares. White played bishop e3, development with tempo. Queen c7. I don't have to ask you for the next move. It's simple logics here. Rook b1. Our last piece is developed. There are some tricks perhaps coming up with bishop b6. Black played in the game knight c4. What the engine would say later on is that bishop a4 was the best move. So the engine is saying if bishop b6, we have queen takes c3 and so on. Anyway, this is easy to see with the engine at your side, and it's not so easy to play like this in a game, right? But this is the best way to go with black probably. White should play something else here. There are other moves which come to mind, but let's have a look at the game, okay? Let's have a look. After rook b1, knight c4, it's your move. I did enough talking, so it's you to play here. I'll ask you just for the three next moves I'll ask you for, okay? Let's see how would you continue with white here. Okay, 1 minute 20. How to continue with white? You don't have to win anything. You just have to improve your position, okay? White to play and improve their position. Okay, Eric, excellent work. I like the way that you would like to continue here. I might play knight d5 though at the end. I'll play knight d5. So you can adjust this whole variation and you can avoid knight d5 at the end. Okay, several people got it. ChessDojo, you're the first one, so you will have a chance to talk. Nice, no? HDI Chess also, Thinker, you got it. Adi Chess, you were very close. Castle and Chess Knight want to swap queens. Wow, that's surprising, but I guess you calculated this. If I take and I play knight f5 or knight d5, are you sure you're in complete control? It might help me to swap queens, right? Interesting move, Guinea Pig. Maybe you can bring that knight to some other place. Medina Tiger sacked the queen. Wow, that's very surprising to sack the queen, but you don't have enough attackers, do you? All right. A lot of interesting answers here. Mega Charles Rex also, but that move, your last move, lets me improve my knight, right? Let's listen to, okay, Tactical Magician, you got it. Quacky also, Hong Pao. ChessDojo, please go ahead. What would you play here with white then?
Oh, I would play bishop c4. Okay, if queen c4, rook b7, queen c3, knight cd4 is fine. It should be because I mean he's weak still.
Of course.
So you should play bc4 probably.
I mean, and what's next?
If we don't play bishop c4, I mean he can play b5 and we won't have anything anymore.
Yeah, sure.
So
they might be about to play b5.
Pawn c4, bishop b6.
You can play it out if you like, so that everybody can see. So bishop takes. Now if I take with the pawn, this move is very strong. Not so much for the bishop, but for the fact that black would like to play either knight e5 or knight f5. But that won't happen.
Yes, I mean, I was thinking knight b4, knight e3, but then I decided knight e3 because it also stops knight f5.
Exactly. Because if you play knight e4, which looks natural, then I guess I play knight e5, and I still have some ideas like, yeah, bring out the bishop and castle. That's a very simple idea. But your way is much stronger, and it's hard to play with the black already. It's difficult to find moves for black, because, yeah, I cannot really go here, and if there is some kind of pawn structure modification, maybe even the e6 pawn might advance. So this looks nasty for black. And I mean, knight c6 is just dropping this pawn also. So looks difficult. Yeah, thanks, Rayo. Good work. What you could say also about this is that what we're doing here, bishop takes e4, we are swapping their most active pieces. I think this is important to understand. We can write that in the chat. No problem to give up the bishop pair. Yeah, I cannot write this properly. The bishop pair, key idea to swap their most active pieces. I mean, this is common sense, but still, sometimes we forget about this. But it makes a lot of sense, like Rayo says, to take on c4. If they take with the pawn, we can then bring our knight to e3, a very good square. And in the game, on the other hand, they took here with a queen. So they played here queen takes e4 in the game, just like Raya was saying. Now rook takes b7 is coming. Not so much for the pawn, of course. The pawn itself is not that important. The important thing is that we're able to open up the game. We have the 7th rank to work on, and also somehow there might be some kind of invasion on the queen side later on, right? So rook takes b7 was played in the game, and here black didn't really cope with this situation in the right way. They played in the game knight f5. You will see that this is a mistake. Another interesting variation here was to play knight c6, but this is again very, very difficult to see. Stockfish is explaining that this is black's best choice. So if you are able to spot this idea of knight c6, knight f5 to drive away the white rook, congratulations, that's a fantastic discovery. Not so easy to see this while you're sitting at the board, right? But that's the way in which black can still save their skin here and fight on, probably. Another interesting variation would be if black plays here the move bishop a4. And I had a look at this variation. I had a look at this. So I wanted to ask you about this. So should I ask you about this one? Yeah, I think I should ask you about this one. So what do you think in this position? How do you think white should continue their attack? Which is the most powerful way to continue? Yeah, this is not so simple, but try to find a way in which you can attack black's king in a better way. All right. I'll only ask you for 2 moves because it's really complex. So good luck, everybody. Let's see if you can find a smart way in which we can put more pressure on the black king. Hint: after your second move, I won't be able to move my knight really.
What's the hint again?
The hint is that after your second move, I cannot move my knight. Okay? Castle, you're close. Aha, you're on the right track. I guess if you play that, I'll take. And try to improve that idea, Castle. You can do it in a different way. All right? Yeah, this is a difficult one. Queen b1, I think that's also interesting, Ryo, what you're saying. Yeah, this was too difficult, probably. No time. Yeah, I know. Should I give you more time? Well, I mean, we're okay. I'll give you then, yeah, another try on this one. Okay, so try to find a way. Okay, I'll give you another hint. Try to use your queen in a smart way. I didn't say that you have to move the queen right now. I'm just saying, look for a way in which you can include the queen in the battle. Okay, include the queen in the battle, please. Yeah, Adi Chess, I'll give you 1 point for that. Your move is very good also. It's very strong. HDI Chess, you got it. That's the move which I was looking for. Castle, you also got it. Oh, you moved the queen. Queen c1, some people are saying. That's a surprising move. What's the queen doing on c1? If I take on c3? You must be seeing something that I can't see. Anyway. So, Adi Chess and Chess Knight, that's a good move that you're saying. I like that move very much. It's very intuitive, and you're also attacking the bishop from afar. Yeah, nice move. All right, time's up. Chess Ryo, you got it also. Let's listen to HDI Chess. All right, HD, please go ahead. Knight e4. You can see the knight is going away, so that if black takes, we're ready to introduce the queen in the battle. Aha, this is a very smart move because also now the rook gets ready to fight for the c-file. And we're kind of limiting the black knight due to this threat. However, like some people were saying, queen g4 is also very strong because you would be looking at the bishop and you would be ready to even consider some sacrifice and take on a4. Okay, I mean, if I play bishop takes c2, probably white could go for something like... I think this is interesting. I can play like this, and if they take, I can play like that. If you take... Well, what do you think? Is this good for white? I kind of like it. I mean, materially, I'm lost, but can black ever... How do you say? What's the word? I don't remember. Can you untangle here? Can you untangle with black? I'm not completely convinced. It looks nasty, no? I threaten this, and if you come here, maybe I can play queen f3 and try to swing over the queen. Well, or maybe there's something else. Anyway, untangle. Yeah, thanks. It says Ryo. So that's an interesting idea. Queen g4, but also queen f3 might be even stronger because in this way you don't give up any material. If bishop takes c2, let's see here. If bishop takes c2, you can just play simply rook c1, right? And black is still in huge trouble here. all white pieces are active and these guys are still sitting at home. I don't think black can really save themselves in this position. So yeah, that's what I had on my mind here in this variation. Bishop a4 looked very tempting for black, but actually after knight fd4, a very pretty way of organizing white's pieces so that the rook can also join the battle. What did Stockfish say? Knight c6, knight a5. That's a fantastic idea. Very hard for a human to move away the knight from the center in that way. Anyway, let's get going with the game. Knight f5 was played in the game. This is a bad idea, but you have to understand the next very, very strong move played by the Indian Grandmaster. So I'll just ask you for, 2 moves, okay? I'll just, the next move is a key move of this game. It's very, very important to understand it. So here we go. Hint, you will do something that you did a few moves ago, okay? It's the same idea in a different fashion. That's right, Adi Chess, you got it. Simple logics, right? Simple logics. Eric, you got it as well. Half a point for Medina Tiger. Look carefully. You probably could do it with the other knight so that your queen can come closer to the battle, right? But else, Mega Charles X and MM Thinker Castle, the same comment goes for you. To help the queen, I think it's better to use the other knight, okay? Okay, Pikachu, Hong Pao, and Tactical Magician, you want to defend that pawn? Is that pawn so important to you? I don't think you need that. Well, the Indian Grandmaster didn't bother to protect the pawn. Okay, a lot of other moves came up here. Bishop a7, 92. A lot of moves. Let's listen to Adi Chess. Okay, Adi Chess, what's your solution here?
I said like knight fd4 as like before, like we try to like attack the knight on f5.
Nice. I agree with you. That's a very good idea. Last time we eliminated that strong knight on c4, and this time we will we will eliminate the strong knight on f5. You're right. So what's the difference between going with this knight and that knight? What do you think?
I didn't really think about that, but I think then like after knight takes e3, it's like not as good as before. Yeah,
I think the same thing. Maybe I don't know if I can play the bishop to e7 maybe. Maybe. I still have some chances, right? Or what's going on here? This knight is kind of stuck. It's not. We would love to play something like queen g4. So that's right. Yeah, there's another explanation also that you found. So knight e4 is your move. I take on e3, and how do you take back, Adi?
I said knight takes e3 because like that looks like the most logical.
Yeah, and why do you say it's the most logical, by the way?
Because like rook take e3, it defends the pawn, but then it's like the pawn on e5 is pretty weak, but like knight e3 is like has initiative and things. All right. Also, there's knight take d5 idea.
Exactly. That's what I wanted to say. I mean, we shouldn't forget that black is still sitting with the king in the center. So time is money. We have to move quickly before they're able to castle. So if you play knight takes e3, I mean, also you win a tempo, you could say. You lose a pawn, but you win a tempo, and you're about to sack somehow in the center. And also you have this bonus that you can bring out the queen. So if you play rook takes e3 here, I guess I'll play simply bishop. Well, what would I play? Bishop e7? Or rook c7 maybe? Does this move make sense? Maybe I should play like this then. Because if I play bishop e7, you will say that, okay, you can play queen g4 and I cannot play castles because I'm dropping the bishop. And if I play bishop g5, I guess you play, mouse slip. I'll play f4. So I guess from this follows that I could play here rook c7. If that's wrong, please let me know. But I think this is the most logical move. If rook b8, of course, rook c8. So I'm fighting against your rook. I'm waiting a little with the development of my bishop. So much stronger what Adi Chess says here. Okay, thanks, Adi Chess. Great work. Knight takes e3. That's what the Grandmaster played in the game. Black played here. Queen takes c3. Had they played queen a4, what do you think white would play? Anyone? You can just write to the chat. What would you play with white? Any idea? Can you find a powerful move here? Yeah, queen g4, Google Chess. You're right. That's a nice move. Queen g4, everybody to the party. If queen takes a2, I mean, this is a very materialistic move, but yeah, what else to do here with black? It's hard to develop. Anyone, how would you develop the attack at this point? Aha, okay, you got it. ChessRayo, Eric, you got it. Nice. C4, what a pretty move, right? We're somehow closing the queen, so to speak. We're isolating the queen from the battle. And now if I take on C4, it's time for the final assault, right? 95. Okay, interesting chess knight. 95. Maybe you can play like that. I like it. I like it. It has a nice aesthetic touch to it because I cannot take, then yeah, I'm mated. So yeah, this must be horrible for black. I don't think black can survive here. So many pieces in the attack. Knight b6 is coming on. So queen a5 says ChessRayo. All right, Rayo, you found a good counter strike here. Oh, we missed this one, chess knight. What to do now? Yeah, that was close. I think there is a better move here, if I'm not mistaken. Look at the black king, okay? What do you say? Anyone? Mikhail Tal. Let's invite Mikhail Tal to this game. What would Misha Tal play at this moment? Knight takes e6. That's too much, I think. Yeah, HDI chess. You're right. Rook takes d7. This must be crushing because I'm left without defenders, right? You could play rook d1, but even stronger, who could attack the king now? Exactly. We bring in the queen, right? And you have multiple threats here. Black is unable to defend. I think this is interesting also, no? Because actually we're winning the game on the queen side, not on the king side. This happens in some openings, right? Like in the Caro-Kann, in some variations in the advanced Caro-Kann and so on, you can attack them on the queen side. What happened? Sorry, Robo. Robo was saying something? What about knight ef5? Okay, we found one good continuation, and Robo found knight ef5. If I take, I'm not sure I'm following here. We're down a piece now. e6. Wow, beauty prize. That's going for the beauty prize. If I take, Robo will take here, and Robo will mate me with rook e8. Yeah, nice discovery, Robo. But okay, I'm not forced to play like that, am I? Maybe I could play something else here. So anybody with a sharp tactical eye, what would you play with black here, or is black just lost here? Yeah, nice, Robo. Yeah, almost as pretty as the knight c6 by Tactical Magician. Yeah, this was a pretty picture. Aha, it looks like if you're winning here. I like it at least. I like it. It looks very promising. So, nice way of opening up the game. Okay, however, if you play knight a5, you're actually not threatening anything I was going to say. What about Rayo's move, queen a5? Maybe this makes sense. Right? I bring some piece to the defense. I'm looking at this rook, maybe. Maybe, just maybe, move the queen to d5. Yeah, not so clear, not so clear. I'll vote for rook takes d7 instead. This looks like a typical move to finish off black here. They are left without defenders. Very pretty picture, I would say. Where it changed down, but I could move my rook up. I could still move my rook up. How do you mean move my rook up? Rook, you're saying rook e2? Is that what you mean? Yeah, maybe you can play that. Okay, I'll play queen d5. Okay, I don't know. Do I have any chance of surviving, or you're just killing me here? But your knight is not so powerful, no? Your knight is not so powerful. So maybe I can still save myself here. I don't know. I don't see this as clearly as the other stuff, but okay. Interesting. Anyway, let's wrap this up. In the game, we are looking here at the move queen a4, which is very interesting, and we notice that queen g4 is very strong, no? Because we have this move c4 coming up, and sacrifices here and sacrifices there, and so on. In the game, they played instead queen takes e3. After knight takes e3, they played queen takes c3. And we're about to finish off white. This is very simple. So black, I mean. We're going to finish off black. So I'll ask you for the two next moves. This should be very simple if you followed this game so far. Okay, HDI chess, ChessRayo, Robo, chess knight. Medina Tiger, are you sure about that? Well, interesting. Charles, yeah, it looks interesting. Oh, queen g4. Tactical Magician Eric and Mega Charles X, are you dropping the rook on e1 on purpose? You're hanging a rook, guys. I think we have worked for too long today. We have already 4 people dropping the rook on e1. Yeah, but the big majority here, Chess Knight, Charles Huam, MM Thinker, Pikachu, Adi Chess, RZ 2018, you all got it. So that's good news. Nice. So Alg 19, you also got it. Excellent work. Okay, so who is speaking on this one? Let's listen to Charles Hua. Okay, Charles, you're on. How do you continue here? Aha, we just take on d5. We have so many pieces in the attack. That's the right way to go. We open up the e-file for the attack. I don't think the other options were that convincing. I mean, you could play like this probably, but is it as convincing as the other variation, I'm not sure. I like very much the fact that we can keep the rook along the 7th rank, right? So that's a luxury to have a rook on the 7th rank when you're attacking. So I'm pretty sure this is the right way to go. Some people were saying queen g4, but okay, that's not serious, no? You're dropping the rook. So knight takes, pawn takes, e6. That's how the game went. Black took on e6. And I'll ask you for one last thing here. After e takes, f takes e6, knight takes e6. That's how the game went. Beautiful coordination among the white pieces. Black played bishop e7. I'll just ask you for the last move in the game, okay? No, it's not the last move in the game. The two last moves in the game, okay? I'll give you 1 minute for that. The first one is simple, and the other one I would say it's not so simple. So 1 minute. Let's see if you can find the last part of the game. Really? Can you play like that? HDI, chess, and Pikachu. Really? I take and I play bishop d6. Medina Tiger, Robo, Eric, Mega Charles Rex. I'll play king d8 there. King d8. Are you sure you're winning? Remember that if you take on d5, I'll take on e1. Okay. Google Chess, I'll play king d8. I think. Maybe I'm lost anyway, but okay. I won't resign. Okay. Nobody is playing like the Indian Grandmaster. Wow. Was this so difficult? HDI, Chess, Pikachu, Chess Knight, and Charles Hua. I'll take and I'll play bishop d6. Are you winning there? You're mating me? Queen b1, that's a fantastic move. RZ, Chess Ryo, you have a lot of imagination. I like that move, Queen b1. Yeah, probably that's a good move also. Okay, nobody got it. I'm sorry. Let's see here. So, most people were saying that we should play, well, Queen e2, right? No, what did you say here? I got confused here already. Knight takes e7, some people want to play. Okay, I guess I can take with the queen, is that so? Or what am I missing here? Yeah, what else? Some people are saying rook takes d7 and queen takes d5. I'll play bishop d6. Are you mating me here? I don't follow. Then queen takes d5. When queen takes d5? Well, what are we speaking about? I don't follow. You want to take and you want to take on d5? That's what you mean? Like this? Interesting. If I protect, what's going on? I mean, I have two bishops extra, no? So it's not so clear. If you play the Sicilian Najdorf, you sometimes end up with a king like this, right? And nothing happens. So I guess this is not convincing. So nobody played the first move. Queen b1. Oh, Tactical Magician and Quacky. You were very close. Okay, I see. Queen b1 was played by some people. I think this is okay also. Yeah, pretty move to give check on g6. I think this is also possible. I don't know how to defend with black here. Could I take on... I cannot take on e6, can I? Is that possible? I was hoping to swap queens, but you will of course give check, right? And I play... Am I lost here completely? King f8? Is this winning? If you say so. Queen takes e6 then, you mean? Oh, and I cannot defend properly this bishop, right? That's the whole point. I cannot defend properly. Rook c7? No, rook b8. I see. So probably I'm lost here, right? If I play like this, I cannot get away with this, can I? It's too pretty to play like this. Well, probably I'm lost here anyway. But I would certainly try. Sorry, what did you say, Robo? Maybe queen c2. When is queen c2? Oh, right there you mean. Okay, I see. Queen c2, very clever move. Yeah, we don't let them play. But then they will take probably. Okay, what's going on here? Maybe this is winning. Yeah, maybe this is winning. Rook ending. They're going to be rook ending or no? I cannot see this clearly. Are you winning here, Ryo? Is this winning? I'm not convinced.
Queen c2, rook d7.
Aha. So that's the rook ending, right? But you're probably winning here. Yeah, yeah. You have a pawn up and my king is very badly placed. Aha. I see what you mean. Oh, Pikachu is speaking Spanish. What happened? Espera ya veo. I don't know actually what's going on. Queen b1 is probably very good also. Yeah. Did you refute my other variation, Ryo? Or yeah, you refuted it with this queen check. Was this so clear?
Or king f8, rook e6.
Oh, to just go for the rook ending. But I can castle then, right? I can castle in the end. Or did I move my king already?
No, I said queen g6, king f8, rook e6.
I forgot. No, you're actually winning here also, right? You're winning here probably. So sorry, what were you saying? Sorry, I lost
Queen
track.
g6 check first, king f8, then rook e6.
Oh, okay. Queen g6 first. And then what do you want to play?
Rook e6.
Rook takes e6, yeah. Aha, no perpetuals coming up, right?
And
You have
then
everything. You can just
Yeah.
play king h3, you mean? Aha, yeah, so probably this is winning. Yeah, winning for white also. Anyway,
You can't wait, go back. You can't play king h3.
no, I can't. I'm sorry, I'm a little tired already. Let's see what you're saying here. You cannot play king h3, why not? I mean, I was looking at this and why not?
Mate. Queen h4. And
Oh, I
even-
made it.
and
Oh, God. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's a good sign that we're about to finish today's work. Yeah, so maybe I'm actually drawing here, right? So what happened?
black wins.
Black wins. Well,
Wait, black
Black
wins.
wins
Yeah,
because
black
they
wins.
have rook c1 coming up also. Yeah. So I don't know what's going on here. Let's say we can move the pieces. The Indian Grandmaster couldn't move his pieces. So I think his choice was much better. Let's listen to somebody who got it right the first move. Tactical Magician or Quocky. Okay, Quocky, you're on. What would you play with white? When was it? Here, right? Yeah. Okay, Quocky, you're on. What's the best move with white? Typical tactical move. Whenever there is tension on the e file. We're waiting for you, Quocky. Knock, knock. No answer. All right, let's listen to Tactical Magician. What do you say, Tactical Magician? What do you play with white? It's white to play, I hope, right? Or did I?
Yeah, so you have to play queen to e2.
Aha, queen e2. Notice black cannot castle.
One
If I
of
take-
the other.
Aha. So black played in the game queen f6, and nobody found the right move here because Tactical Magician and Quocky wanted to play knight c7. That's a mistake. That's a mistake because I can take and I can castle, right?
Mm.
You can take and I can take, and who knows if I can still.
Well, there's rook d7.
There is rook d7. When? Here, you mean? No, right here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, right. So this is winning, yeah, for white. Correct. So I will have to play something else here. I don't know, rook f8, Najdorf style. Just keep my king in the center. This is not convincing, right? This
Yeah.
cannot be, it's not so convincing. So, okay, let's do the last quiz for today. This is definitely the last quiz for today. I'll give you only 30 seconds. Last move of the game and last move of today's session, okay? White to play and win. Candidate moves, all right? Candidate moves. That knight can go to so many different places. Where to put that knight? Aha, Quocky and Eric, you got it. Alg, 19. Tactical Magician, Chess Knight, Pikachu. RZ 2018. Right. Castle. Yeah, you're fast thinkers. Union Sprinkles, interesting idea. But there is a better square for that knight. Okay. So let's listen to Alg. Alg 19. No, Alg 19 has left. So no problem. Let's listen to Pikachu. Okay, Pikachu, what would you play with white here? Key move in this game. Well, last little detail. We should bring this knight to the best possible place. If we play knight c7, black can then take. We saw this already. So where to put the knight? I don't get any answer from Pikachu. Now we got an answer. Yeah, knight f4. I mean, that's the right way to go. Because now we're also threatening to take or to play knight g6. Black resigned because if castles, I mean, this would be the last try, but they just end up losing too much material, right? Who is moving? Pikachu. Right, Pikachu, what would you play? Quickly, we need to finish off today. Yeah, Mega Charles Rex, thanks. Knight x5. That's, of course, the right move. So, good reason to resign because white will then take. I mean, I can play something like queen d6, but white will win a lot of material. I guess you would just take, right? And yeah, many ways to win here. Take here or maybe something there. Or if you can see something else, that's fine also. So, summing up, very pretty game by Puranik. I like this game very much. We have several key moments. Maybe this is the first one, like I think Ryo said. We should eliminate that bishop, that knight, I mean. Later on, we had this key moment when we should eliminate that piece also. We don't care about the pawns hanging. And in the end, black was left without defensive pieces, and we were able to break through with knight x5 and e6. White went on to win. Thanks a lot, guys. That's it for today. I hope you have enjoyed this class. See you next time. Bye-bye.